I've been experimenting with this espresso powder. I put it in a cake with some buttermilk. That was pretty good. Today we're going to have 2 different recipes for you combined because they're kind of short. We will have espresso hot cocoa and Dalgona coffee, which is just coffee made with a frother.
One of my patients actually turned me on to this. She said, "Oh, you have to make this coffee mousse."
Here, we're going to combine equal parts cocoa and brown sugar, stir it, add a little bit of vanilla, hot water, cream, and espresso powder. And then for these, which are tiny because Mama does not want to have much, we're going to have espresso powder, brown sugar, and half and half. And we're running a little bit low on brown sugar, so.
I buy it for her every year. I don't know. Using an entire box in 1 year, it's kind of crazy. But I thought you made the Dalgona and it was disgusting. What changed your mind?
I put sugar in it.
You were just going with powdered coffee, huh?
Uh-huh. It was nasty like that.
Oh, yeah. Explains everything.
Interesting fact. Plain old coffee is kind of nasty when concentrated with absolutely nothing else in it.
And powdered.
Who'd have thought? While we're waiting for our water to heat, we'll go ahead and put together our recipes. We'll start with the hot cocoa. I've been using this recipe a lot lately because it's cold and I like hot cocoa.
It's much warmer today. The high is 68.
Start with a tablespoon of hot cocoa. Hot cocoa. Cocoa powder.
Is this sweetened or anything?
This is 100% baking cocoa.
100%.
If it's sweetened, you can add less sugar. Then we're going to add some light brown sugar.
Seems like enough to me. I've lost my taste for sugar.
For a normal serving / person,
I make no claim to be normal.
a little less than a tablespoon of brown sugar in there. For someone like her, put about 3/4 of that.
It's a lot. It's like we're making cookies here.
We're not making cookies.
Smells like cookies.
Now we're going to add in our espresso powder. So for every tablespoon of hot cocoa, oh my gosh, I keep saying that. For every tablespoon of cocoa powder and tablespoon of brown sugar, add about, where'd you go? There you are. Half a teaspoon of espresso powder.
Yum.
Tasty.
Now stick your finger in there and lick it.
Ugh. Now we'll set these to the side and work on these. These will be, once again, half a teaspoon espresso powder. Then once again, match the amount of coffee to the amount of sugar. For this, you might want to go a little bit over instead of under. We have created our Dalgona bases.
Yum.
Tasty. Now, with your boiling water that you will hope is not attached to your counter, you're going to add just a little bit of water to your hot cocoa. Enough to cover it and slightly melt it. Then you're going to grab your little frother and you're going to pretend it's working. Well, it is. It's just having a little bit of a hard time here.
Not get it all the way to the floor. Or possibly turn it up.
Like that.
Frothy.
Then do the same thing on the other side.
See how lifting it slightly makes it work better?
Now, we're going to add a little bit of vanilla to each of these. Just sort of measure from your heart.
I've never heard that before. Measure from your heart.
Mm-hmm. Add a little bit more hot water. Put your hot water away for a moment. Then add your dairy product.
Oh, cream. So this is the hot cocoa?
Mm-hmm.
How is it?
What do you mean, how is it? You're drinking it.
Do you like it?
Yes, I've made it before. Therefore, I like it.
Well, it's got all the flavors in it. Give me that frother.
Should be a really great food critic. Don't over froth it.
One must froth to get frothy.
Don't let it spill out the sides.
It's not spilling out the sides. It is lovely. Ah, yes, much better. A fine product.
Now, we shall put our cocoa to the side. We shall move to our Dalgona. Pass me back the water, please.
I thought this one was iced.
It's either.
So if you wanted it iced, you would just make it and then put it in the freezer?
Ice on it.
Ice.
Okay, so we're going to add about 2 teaspoons of water to each of these. And then we froth.
That's much thicker.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Air.
Well, why didn't you just froth this longer?
Because that's not the point of it. So we compare unfrothed to frothed.
It's like magic. Need a big ol' whipped cream on top of it.
You can actually turn this into whipped cream if you add some if you add some whipping cream and wait long enough.
Maybe some nutmeg. Now that is thick. And maybe a pumpkin pie shell. Looks like pumpkin pie.
Now we add our dairy.
I'm all for that. And this is where you would do the art if you were an artisan. What'd you make?
I have no clue.
Well, it is lovely.
Kind of looks like a pine cone.
It's bubbling.
Yeah, that's the air. Don't worry, it won't kill you.
Hydrogen peroxide does that too.
There's a reason why this one is iced.
So that you don't taste it.
It's a little bitter.
It really needs some pumpkin.
I'll be right back with some glasses of ice.
Ice cream.
Mm-hmm. She's very cute, isn't she?
Mm-hmm. Crushed ice would be nicer.
Drink your Dalgona coffee.
Ah, yes, better cold. Now, if you mix this with this, what do you get?
Chocolate milk.
The hot one is better.
The hot one has chocolate and more sugar.
What did we learn today?
I don't know, you have to disguise espresso in order to put it in drinks.
So who are these recipes for? Who would enjoy this?
People who like to disguise espresso.
Should they go out and buy some powdered espresso so they can do this?
I don't know, it's weird. But it's like the texture is kind of like grittier instant coffee.
All right, so tell us how you drink espresso. And until we see you again,
Make sure to make time for tea and a good book and whatever this is.